Welcome to Catapult Leaders Conversation with Leaders. Listen in and take notes as Catapult Leaders CEO, Daryl Mobley, chats with Sheldon Dennis about self-discipline and taking initiative. Sheldon Dennis is Catapult Leaders Chief of Student Development and CEO of Polaris Commercial Financing Group.
Self-leadership and taking initiative. This is an important area that many don't have a full grasp of and what needs to be done. So let me just start off by asking you, what is self-leadership to you?
Well, self-leadership is akin to a self-discipline, okay, which is basically doing the things that you know need to be done when they need to be done, regardless of how you feel. If you are in a leadership position over other people, you would have to get them to do things that needed to be done, and sometimes and motivate to do things the right way, and sometimes with a resistance from other people. It's the same for you. You know that, hey, I have to do this, and I don't feel like doing it, but it has to be done. And that's where self-leadership comes into. It says, okay, I have to do this, even though I don't feel like doing it.
What is the difference in your mind between self-leadership and then leadership of others? How does that look when we see it?
Well, just going back to my personal experience, is that we are always taught, do not ask other people to do what you will not do yourself. And then, that's always clear, because because if you're going to be a great leader, the people that are your followers, they're going to know that. They will know this. Oh, okay, yeah, he doesn't have my back. You can't ask people to be in tip-top shape when you're overweight. It's just doesn't connect. It's true of everything. For those things that you would ask or demand of others, you must possess those qualities yourself, or it just doesn't work.
How might you see self-leadership having impact on those around you?
Well, if you do the things, basically you should have a mindset that a winner's mindset that I'm going to exceed the expectation. That means showing up on time, being able to deliver projects ahead of time, be able to seek feedback on your performance. Those are things that will make you stand out. You cannot wait to be given a project. You should seek out projects. Give your point of view. Never, for example, never complain or bring up a situation where there's a problem without a suggested solution. And that's just too easy for people to complain. It's okay. What's your proposed solution? They may shoot it down, but they're going to think, well, okay, he's at least thinking about doing something.
Exactly. What might be some tips you might give for ways that a young person who's just entering the workforce, with a great job, what are ways that they can show self-leadership?
Well, ways that you show it is in your demeanor. You show, like I said, you show up on time. You're, as we say in the military, you're always squared away. You're not rushed. My big thing is being on time. You cannot be late for anything. It's my biggest pet peeve of people who are late, and you cannot be late on anything. To meetings, projects that you're given, always try to be on time or present that at early. If you do that, the people will look at you and say, hey, okay, yeah, we can count on so and so to get this done. You don't want to have reputation. Well, if we give it to him, he may get it done. He may not get it done. Plus, if you got that reputation, you'll never get the important things to be done. You just never will.
So you'll never get to the important things. You'll never be given important things to be done.
You will never be given important things to do. Because you're not given anything. Eventually, if you show consistently that you can deliver on projects, you're going to move up in the organization.
Okay. Any other thoughts or comments on self-leadership you want to share?
Well, self-leadership really comes back to working on yourself, those skills that are necessary and important in the business industry. We talked about these before. Be able to think critically, be able to write and speak in a persuasive and forceful manner. Those are the things that you work on those, and you work on those every day. It could be going to seminars, you could be reading books, you could look at other materials. That's something that's going to be self-improvement. You should seek out on your own to do those things and not just wait. So, well, I'll just wait, for them to send me to training if they think it's important to. No. You make it important to yourself, and you go out and do it yourself. That's leadership.
Well, thanks so much for your input about self-leadership, taking initiative, and now let me get more fully on taking initiative, because you touched on it there briefly. What role does taking initiative play in the success of a person who's starting off as a business career?
When I talk about taking initiative, it's almost like the old football term. You have to have your head on a swivel. Look around and say, okay, this is the status quo now. Is there something that we can do to be better? And you always seek, because there's no such thing as best. There's only better. And once you've seen something, it can be something trivial, as far as I'll just make up something. As far as lunch hours, they say, hey, we've got a problem with or a situation with people coming back from lunch early. So then you look into, okay, what is the core problem here? Can we change that? And because you look at things, because if you let things slide and become acceptable, you're not working to be better.
Right.
And you have to look and say, okay, what is the core of this? What can we do to change this?
In touching on taking initiative before and now, you're putting the responsibility fully on the person, him or herself, to come up with ideas, to come up with new ways, to seek ways to get better, to seek ways to, as you say, there's no best, there's better, to seek ways to always improve. Is that what you're saying? Those who take full responsibility for that are the ones who are rewarded in the corporate world.
That's correct. You have to take full responsibility for your actions, your outcome. There are going to be days that it's not fair. So what? Life's not fair. But you have to accept that and say, okay, what is it that's in my control that I can do to better myself or better the organization? There'll be times when you may have a supervisor that feels threatened by you, and that's when you have to have communications clear and say, hey, listen, what are my boundaries? What do you think what are my duties here? What are my boundaries? What things can I do on my own? What things do you need me to check in with you before I do this? And get those things out in the open up front.
Okay. So it's taking initiative to manage the manager, right? Though you're saying communicate fully, to ask questions, to show no fear when it comes to being responsible, as you said, for everything you do.
That's correct.
Perfect. All right. Well, this has been fantastic. I know people can get a lot from this. Thank you so much for giving me the time.
All right. Thank you.
You've listened to Catapult Leaders Conversation with Leaders. Special thanks to Sheldon Dennis.
Be sure and go to catapultleaders.com so that you can apply to the Catapult Leaders program if you are a college student or grad student or a recent graduate. If you are a company leader looking to up-level your company by hiring outstanding new employees, please go to catapultleaders.com and contact us. Let's go.